The Washington quarter dollar 1972 holds a significant place in the long history of American coinage. It continues the legacy that began in 1932, when the Washington quarter was first introduced to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. The obverse features the left-facing portrait of George Washington with the inscriptions, "Liberty in God We Trust," and the year of mintage, while the reverse carries the image of a majestic, bald eagle with outstretched wings clutching a bundle of arrows and olive branches symbolizing strength and peace. The 1972 Washington quarter was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins have no mint mark. The Denver mint coins carry a D mint mark, and the San Francisco mint coins with the S mark were produced as proof coins primarily for collectors. In 1972, all regular circulation quarters were made of a copper-nickel clad composition, which had replaced the 90% silver alloy starting in 1965. This change occurred due to the rising cost of silver and the need for a more economical metal composition. The copper-nickel quarters feature a pure copper core sandwiched between 2 layers of nickel, which gives the coin its distinct silvery appearance. The total mintage for the 1972 Washington quarter was high, with hundreds of millions of pieces struck, making it a common date for collectors. However, there are still details that attract numismatists, including variations in strike quality, mint mark position and condition, coins with strong luster, full details on Washington's hair, and the eagle's feathers are considered more desirable among collectors. The proof versions made in San Francisco are especially notable for their mirror-like surfaces and sharp design details. In terms of design, the 1972 quarter remained consistent with Flanagan's original artwork, although over the decades minor modifications were made to improve clarity and die life. The coin has a diameter of 243 millimeters, weighs 568 grams, and has a reeded edge. Like other coins of its era, it was widely circulated and used for everyday transactions in the 1970s, representing an important part of daily commerce in the United States. The historical significance of the Washington Quarter series lies not only in its design but also in its representation of American ideals. The eagle on the reverse embodies the nation's strength, while the portrait of Washington reminds citizens of leadership and integrity. By 1972, the quarter had already become a familiar symbol of American coinage and would continue to evolve in the following decades, with design changes starting in 1999 when the 50-state quarters program was launched. Collectors today often seek 1972 quarters in mint state condition or proof quality, especially those with high grades from professional coin grading services. While most circulated, examples hold only face value. Pristine examples can be worth more depending on condition and rarity. Some error coins from 1972, such as off-center strikes or double-die obverses, are also sought after for their uniqueness. The Washington quarter of 1972 stands as a reflection of American history, economics, and artistry. It links the traditional values of the early 20th century with the modern age of coinage and continues to be appreciated by historians, collectors, and coin enthusiasts worldwide. By 1972, the Washington quarter dollar had already established itself as one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. The coin had been in circulation for 4 decades, since its first issue in 1932, which was originally intended as a 1-year commemorative coin honoring the 200th birthday of George Washington. However, the design became so popular that it replaced the standing Liberty quarter permanently. The Washington quarter was designed by John Flanagan, a sculptor from New York, whose design was chosen from many submissions. His portrait of Washington was based on Jean-Antoine Houdon's famous 1786 bust of the first president, which is considered one of the most accurate likenesses ever made. The reverse of the coin featuring the eagle was also created by Flanagan and symbolized national pride and military preparedness. The 1972 Washington quarter was struck during an era when the United States Mint had fully transitioned away from silver coinage. The Coinage Act of 1965 had ended the use of silver in circulating dimes and quarters due to rising silver prices that made the metal more valuable than its face value. This led to the introduction of the copper-nickel-clad composition, which featured a pure copper core with outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. This change not only reduced production costs, but also ensured the stability of the coin supply during a time of economic adjustment. The 1972 quarter's production was extensive. Because the coin was heavily used in daily transactions, such as vending machines, parking meters, and public telephones. The Philadelphia Mint struck more than 200 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced over 300 million, making it one of the most common issues of the decade. Despite the large mintages, collectors still value coins that have survived in high grades with sharp details and minimal wear. The San Francisco Mint issued proof coins specifically for collectors as part of the annual proof sets. These coins were struck multiple times using specially polished dies, resulting in sharp designs and mirror-like fields. Proof sets from 1972 are still popular among numismatists for their craftsmanship and historical context. In the broader historical setting, the 1972 Washington quarter circulated during a time of cultural and economic change in America. The early 1970s saw the end of the Vietnam War, the Watergate scandal, and growing inflation. Coinage, during this period, reflected both technological advances in minting and the country's shift toward more modern economic policies. The Washington quarter thus served as both a tool of commerce and a small piece of national identity. In terms of varieties, there are some minor distinctions among the 1972 quarters. Some collectors have noted slight differences in die strength and the sharpness of Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Though not classified as major varieties, these subtle traits make certain coins more appealing to specialists. Error coins, such as double strikes, clipped planchets, or weakly struck coins from worn dies, also attract collector interest. Over the years, the Washington quarter design remained largely unchanged until 1999, when the 50-state quarters program was introduced. This program revived public interest in the series and brought new attention to earlier coins like the 1972 issue. Collectors began revisiting these classic quarters, appreciating their history, craftsmanship, and the stories they carried through decades of circulation. The Washington quarter of 1972 stands as a representative of an important transitional period in American coinage. It bridged the era of silver coins with the modern clad coinage system. It also continued to embody the enduring respect for George Washington, whose image has graced the quarter for nearly a century. Today, the 1972 quarter serves as both a nostalgic relic of the past and a reminder of the evolving history of the United States Mint, from the artistry of the early 20th century to the technological precision of modern coinage.